Welcome to iHeart Cooking. I'm registered dietitian Jennifer Stachler.
And I'm Chef Dugan Wetzel.
We are brought to you by Reid Health Community Benefits, WCTV, and today we are in downtown Richmond at Jack Elstro Plaza. Today on iHeart Cooking, we're going to be talking about grilled foil packs. On iHeart Cooking, we're cooking outside on the grill, and we're going to be making a variety of different foil packs. Some of the different ones we're going to be working with is a sausage foil pack with some vegetables. We're going to be doing some salmon and asparagus foil pack, and we're also going to be doing a barbecue chicken and veggie foil pack.
Absolutely.
So a lot of different varieties, a lot of great fresh produce today, and we'll be getting started with the sausage one, I believe,
yes,
right?
Yeah. That one's going to take the longest to cook, so we're going to go ahead and start with that one. Very simple. Just like all foil packs, you're just going to combine your ingredients. First thing we're doing is we're going to just cut turkey sausage into coins. Very easy, nice and quick. We're going to take some of that, put it in our bowl here.
The reason we got some turkey sausage is sometimes when you're looking at different types of sausages, you want to make sure you find one that's lower in sodium. But also with it being turkey, we're eliminating some of those saturated fats that you typically associate with some of the pork sausage that you might see. You can find some of the pork sausage maybe a little bit leaner with the less saturated fats in there, but sometimes that turkey sausage is a little bit a healthier option for us.
Yes, absolutely. Next step here, I just took an ear of corn and just cut it into 1-inch medallions. You don't want them too thick. It'll take up a lot of space, so you just want to do maybe 1 inch is probably good enough. We're going to take a zucchini, slice them thin, and then we'll do half moons with it.
One nice thing about having the size of zucchini that Dugan has is the smaller the size, you can actually use that whole zucchini when cooking with it.
Yeah.
When the zucchini gets a little bit larger, you get more of those seeds in the middle of it. Those are great for baking because you can kind of eliminate some of those seeds out there, but you really don't want to eat that when you have it in a dish.
No, not at all. Very unpleasant with the seeds, yeah. Okay, so got those in there. Move on to our next one. We've got a combination here of white and some red potatoes, little baby bee reds, and we will just quarter those and add those to the mixture as well.
Nice thing about this dish, you got a lot of different variety of colors. You got your corn in there, which is more of a starchy vegetable, very great and a lot of vitamins. One of them that comes to mind is niacin, which can help with lowering cholesterol. You got your zucchini in there, you got some green, very low in calories, low in saturated fats, low in cholesterol, low in carbohydrates. Got a lot of vitamin C, a lot of vitamin K in there. You got your potassium, you got your phosphorus, magnesium, so a lot of great nutrients there.
A whole lot of everything. Yeah.
And then we're adding some red potatoes, and we also have some white potatoes here. Another great option, you can use either one, whatever you have available. Some of these came out of some local gardens today that we're using. Great time of year to get a lot of these vegetables out of the gardens. We got a lot of sweet corn coming off, you have zucchini coming off.
Absolutely.
Red onions are from local gardens, so we have a lot of great use in garden and farmer market kind of vegetables that you can have. So great time of year when we're cooking out on the grill.
Absolutely. I just say everything here minus the turkey sausage really is available all the time at farmers markets. So
very local vegetables.
Just going to cut this red onion into little strips here. What I like about red onion is it's got that nice bite. Not only does it have the onion flavor, but it gives you a little bit more just being a red onion. I'm a red onion fan, so I'm going to use a decent amount. If you're not a huge onion fan, you can always substitute doing scallions or something a little lighter. It has that more subtle flavor, subtle onion flavor, but still gives you a little bit. So
I say another great one that would probably be coming out of a lot of gardens is leeks.
Yes.
Leek is actually in the onion family, and it's very mild. You don't get that strong, sense of onion. I have quite a few patients who, they don't like onions in a dish. They just don't like that texture. So by doing some type of leek, you don't get that same texture as maybe the red, the yellow, the white onions, but you still get that flavor. Because Adam, many of you know past episodes, we don't cook with salt.
No.
We don't add a lot of that in there. You just seen that he dumped some oregano, some parsley on here for flavor.
A little bit of
Paprika.
Garlic powder. And then we're going to just put a little bit of olive oil. Olive oil, what we're going to do is toss it around to coat it.
Yep.
And that fat just helps it seal to all the ingredients we have here in this bowl. So.
Nice thing about olive oil, it's a great healthy fat. You got your mono and polyunsaturated fats in there. So most of the, if you would look at the nutrients for the recipe, most of the saturated fats, what we tend to call our bad fats, are coming mostly from that sausage turkey or the turkey sausage.
Yep.
But even again, by the choice of protein, we're decreasing those. So making it very heart healthy and healthy in general for anybody.
Yes, definitely. So we've got that all ready to go. We're just going to start with our foil. Very simple. Just going to pull a sheet off here, lay it out on the table. Now, what I like to do is actually put 2 layers down, depending on how hot and the quality of your foil. It may be really thin. So if you move it around, it might tear on the grill, releasing all that steam that's helping you cook, as well as all the juice and all that flavor. So I always put 2 down, and you just put some of that mixture that we just made right there in the middle, and we'll just fold it over the top. We'll do that again. Seal in these edges real well.
Nice thing about the way you cook with this, you're not only getting the heat from the charcoal or the fire or the gas grill that you're using, but by keeping it in a foil, you're also cooking within there with the steaming action of the moisture that's coming out from in there. So you get kind of 2 different heating elements.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that just helps cook it that much faster. You know, like Jennifer said, that steam, 212 degrees, that's one way. Keeping it in here keeps all those nutrients in here as well.
Absolutely.
You're not losing anything out of it. So we've got our foil pack. That's just going to go straight onto the grill, maybe 15, 20 minutes, and we'll check it, make sure that it's done. You'll start to see some of that steam's going to bubble up, and then we'll check it here in a little bit. So.
Now that we got our sausage and veggie one on the grill, we're going to move forward and we're going to start our salmon and asparagus foil pack.
Yep. So yeah, very simple. Actually what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of zucchini that was left over from our last foil pack. That way we're not wasting anything.
Absolutely.
Always good to use everything up. So this one's a real simple dish. We're just going to take our foil, same thing, probably put 2 layers down again. Set the zucchini on there so it doesn't blow away on us. All right. So what we are going to do is just take our salmon, and what we are using is a sockeye salmon. This is found in most local grocery stores. It's a Pacific salmon. There's about 4 variations of Pacific salmon. I would say quality-wise, this is right up there with the king salmon. Pretty good price for what you're getting. It's a really nice meaty salmon, and it's a really good, really healthy for you. Absolutely.
Omega-3 fatty acids is what we're looking here, so very good with the heart health aspect.
Certainly. So what we're going to do now that that's on there, we are just going to take a lemon, slice a couple thin slices, just sit that on top. What that'll do as it cooks is just kind of mellow and soften up, and all of those juices will go down into the salmon itself and kind of get absorbed into the flesh. So.
Absolutely, and it's something that makes a great presentation as well when you're trying to look, you know, for something.
Yeah, absolutely. This always looks good. It always looks nice.
Absolutely.
It's a great presentation. Same thing here. Just going to get some zucchini. we'll probably just do the same thing. Just layer it on top again. Gonna get some nice, nice color in there, another nice flavor, and then we'll throw some asparagus spears.
Got a lot of great non-starchy vegetables here. We're looking at a lot of vitamin C, a lot of vitamin K. You got your potassium, phosphorus, magnesium, omega-3 fatty acids. Very light dish, very healthy, low in carbohydrates. If you're somebody maybe who's counting carbs, like being diabetic, you want something, a very low carb dish, this would be a great choice. Very colorful. Another thing you could add with it being this time of year is summer squash.
Yes,
that would
absolutely.
go right in with that zucchini. So you get a little bit of a yellow color in there, going with the lemons to make it look very bright and vibrant.
Yes, definitely. What I'm doing here with the asparagus is trimming off the ends. You can get a knife and put them together and cut them. I would say if you do that, you're looking at about an inch, inch and a half is what you want to take off. You'll see where it's really white here. You just want to go after that. What I do, kind of easy, if it's fresh asparagus, you can just grab it and bend it, and then right where it snaps, that's where the most fibrous part is. You can discard that, get rid of it, and use this piece. So very easy to do. So yeah, now we're just going to put our oil on here. And salmon's obviously an oily fish, but this will help with the vegetables themselves, kind of hold that pepper. So we'll just go right over top. Just a little bit of pepper.
You're going to be getting a lot of flavor from the lemon and also the vegetables in here, so you don't need to add that salt for the sodium aspect.
Absolutely.
We're also going to be adding some fresh dill here, which is great herb to use with a lot of your fish products.
Yeah, perfect with
salmon.
fish. Absolutely.
So that's stuff that I like to keep the whole spears on.
Absolutely. Right on top. We'll seal it up, throw it on the grill here with our turkey sausage, then we'll move on to our last one.
I say dill is a very easy kind of herb to grow in the garden as well. It goes a long way, gives a nice smell for it, and you can actually attract some butterflies in the garden. Just a little side note there.
There you go, yeah. Okay.
And then same thing with the previous foil dish. We'll wrap this up, get again those two different types of cooking. You get the heat source from underneath the grill, and then you get the steaming aspect inside. The length of time to grill this or have it on there depends on the thickness of the fish as well.
Yeah.
So that's something, if you have a little bit larger fillet, it's going to take a little bit more time. With the size we have here, we're looking probably around 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, I would say about 20 minutes will be safe. It's really, yeah, we've got cooking with charcoal here. Our coals are nice and hot. Really, the embers, the coals are white, the embers are glowing, so it's really a pretty warm grill, so it's not going to take more than 20 minutes. Yep. So that's on there. We're going to clean up a little bit, and then we'll finish here with our third recipe.
So now that we have our two foil packs on there, we're going to move on to our third one, which is going to be a barbecue chicken and vegetable one.
Absolutely.
And the nice thing about this, instead of using barbecue chicken, it's a very lean chicken. You're reducing some of the fats again in there, and it's a different option. It's going to get you a different flavor versus it, because it already has the barbecue sauce added in there, the type that we're using. Right.
We're using a chicken breast, very lean. We're not using the thighs or the legs, anything like that. Easy way to do that at home. Throw it in the crock pot. Little bit of barbecue sauce, just kind of mix it around and let it go low and slow. 6 to 8 hours, it'll get real tender, and then just shred it. Get some forks, shred it apart, and this is the finished dish right here. Basically what we're doing with this foil pack is showing you that this is basically a leftover foil pack. What you've got in the refrigerator, you need to get rid of, and it's going to taste really good. I mean, we're using barbecue chicken and broccoli. You know, two things that you don't normally think about, but once it cooks off, I promise you it's going to be very good. So we'll just go ahead and get started with that. First thing we're going to do, we have some heirloom, mini heirloom tomatoes. Really like these. They've got a nice flavor to them. We're just going to cut those in half.
A lot of great color to this as well with those tomatoes.
Absolutely.
Like Dugan mentioned, a lot of times when you get home from work and let's say you want a quick meal, it's gorgeous outside, you want to be outside, you could definitely look in your fridge, see, okay, what kind of protein, what kind of vegetable do I vegetables do I have? And you could easily turn on the grill, make a foil pack, and you're eliminating so many different dishes, which, I mean, as a mom myself that have little kids that can't do dishes yet, I think that's ideal.
Oh, yeah.
I actually did that last night. Went in my garden, picked some green beans, made a foil pack, put it right on the grill. Quick
Perfect.
and easy meal.
Yeah, absolutely. So we went ahead and cut those tomatoes. You don't necessarily have to do that. That's personal preference. If you like them kind of soft and blistered, you can absolutely do that as well. Just leave them whole. But I like to open them up because then that acidity, those juices from the inside, keep everything good and moist, and it's just more flavor.
Absolutely. Especially sometimes when I work with certain patients, they don't like the texture of having like a whole tomato like that. Because once you put it in their mouth, it like bursts open, and a lot of people don't like that sensation. And I'm personally one of those. I don't like to have that whole tomato, so I would cut mine in half as well. So for texture reasons with patients, I would recommend cutting those in half too.
Absolutely. While we're finishing this onion here, if you can look over at our grill, this is our first one, the turkey sausage. It's starting to steam up. All that steam is starting to puff it up. You can hear in the salmon, we've got it over probably one of our hotter parts of the grill. It's starting to sizzle. It's starting to get that skin, kind of crisp that up a little bit while it's in there. And then we'll throw this on, and I'd say 15 minutes, we've got 3 foil packs ready to go. So,
Absolutely.
just going to mince up some red onions real fast. For those of you that have seen iHeart Cooking before, this is just something quick and easy that I like to do when I cut onions. I cut the tops off, leaving the root, and then I cut it in half. The root being still on there holds it all together, very simple. And then I lay it flat and then just slice maybe 1/4 inch each way. Still, again, holding it together. I'll put my hand on top and just run a couple strips through there. And then all you got to do is mince it, and then you've got diced onions. Very simple, very easy, and they're ready to go. That'll just go straight into the foil pack, and we'll be ready. So I'm going to run through our broccoli here. See, we want these bites to be small, fork size, where you can just stick it with the fork and put it in your mouth. You don't want anything too big where you're, my son likes to shove a bunch of food in his mouth. So try to eliminate that by making them bite-sized. So that's just what we're going to do here real quick.
Absolutely. Makes it a lot more friendlier, especially if you're outside. Let's say you don't want to go get your dishes or forks or utensils dirty. You want to have a picnic outside right off the grill. It's great to have those bite-sized pieces, especially if you're using kind of those plastic forks or something. It'd be a lot easier to poke through those as well.
Certainly, absolutely.
Dugan and I both grew up with small kids in our house, so we tend to make everything bite-sized pieces.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier. You are not wrong there. So. We have a couple more ingredients that go with this. We got 2 different cheeses. We got a mozzarella and a cheddar. We also have some fresh cilantro. What we're doing is we're going to cook everything, get it up to temp, and then once that's done, we'll pull that off, open it up, throw the cheeses on top so it melts, and then the cilantro on top of that. The reason we're doing that, with mozzarella, there's a high moisture content in there, so once that cooks all the way through, it just gets oily, and it'll make your food really oily and just have that bad texture to it. Yeah. So just by waiting until it's done and putting it on top, it just allows it to melt, and then you can start eating it right away. The cilantro, anytime you're using fresh herbs, they don't last forever. If you put them in hot dishes and then let them go, it leaches out all that flavor, and then eventually it just disappears. So by putting it in at the end, you get that freshness that you would from the herb, and it's just ready to go.
Absolutely, which especially works when we don't use sodium, we don't use salt. So we try to, well, I should say we don't use salt. We're trying to eliminate all the sodium we can out of our dishes to make it heart healthy, which is also going to help with high blood pressure, fluid retention, even weight control. So we are trying to eliminate that out. So we want to use our fresh herbs to gather all that extra flavor.
The most flavor we can. Yeah,
and by
absolutely.
grilling a lot of your vegetables, you're leaching, you're getting all, well, I should say you're leaching, you're getting all those flavors out and enhancing them as well. For this dish, most of the salt that's going to come from it is from your cheese. These are going to be high sodium products, so that you're getting a little bit taste of that sodium, without actually adding the salt to add that flavor.
Certainly. So we went ahead here, put a little bit of the barbecue chicken, some broccoli, put our diced onions and our tomatoes. We're going to hit it with just a little bit of pepper. Fold that up. Oh, sorry, forgot. We got a jalapeno over here. For those of you that like spice. Just kind of appeared on the board.
If you like spice, you could add some of these. Again, right now a lot of them are on the farmer's market. They're readily available. It depends on your spice palette. If you want a lot, you can add a lot. If you don't, you can add fewer amounts.
Certainly.
I have a family who likes spice, and they actually did a foil pack of just jalapenos over the fire when I went camping a couple weeks ago. So it's definitely something you could do that as well to do something different.
Absolutely. Jalapenos are really good. They've got that nice burn to them. Another one that's subtle that would be a good choice for this type of dish is a serrano pepper. They're a little bit smaller, they're a little hotter, but it's not the mouth burn that you're kind of accustomed to with jalapenos. It's more of the stomach. It's like a warming feeling, like when you eat chili in the winter and it's kind of a comfort food. That's what that heat kind of reminds me of. So if you're not a huge fan of jalapenos, but you like spice, that's another option for you to do. So all I'm doing now, I cut the top off and I split it in half. I'm just taking my thumb, sticking it right there on the pith part, the white part, and then just pulling out all the seeds. Very fast, very easy.
And he does have gloves on for doing this as well.
Absolutely.
Sometimes if you don't have those gloves on, you might feel a little bit of that spice too.
Yeah, if you got cuts on your fingers and you don't know about it, you absolutely will in about 2 minutes. So just real thin strips. And then that will go straight into the foil pack. Now we're ready to seal it up and throw it on the grill. Okay. Straight on the grill, and we'll come back here in a little bit.
So our foil packs are done. We're going to be taking them off the grill. We're definitely going to put some of the last toppings on the last barbecue one that we did. But our sausage and veggie one's completely done. Our salmon and asparagus and zucchini one's done. And we'll get the barbecue chicken with the veggies, and we'll add the rest of the toppings quickly here.
Just going to rough chop some cilantro. A lot of people will tell you to pluck all the leaves off the cilantro. It's not a hard stem. It's really soft and it's edible, and it still has that cilantro flavor. I don't really mess with that. I just use the stems. Just chop them up real fine, and you're not even going to know the difference between the leaf and the stem. You're still going to get that flavor, and it's still good. You're not throwing away, half the cilantro by just peeling off the leaves. So, just going to rough chop some off here real quick.
And I feel like that's one thing that a lot of individuals go to the store, they'll buy, the big bunch of cilantro or parsley and herbs, and they think they can only use the leaves, and you're throwing half of it away, where you could definitely take advantage and use that all, especially depending on the types of dishes that you're using them in.
Exactly. All right, so that's chopped. We're going to open that up. If you can look,
see the sting coming out of there, and the broccoli's cooked through.
The potatoes are nice and blistered. A little bit of cilantro, some cheese.
Definitely smells delicious.
There's our first one. This one's our salmon. You can see in the salmon, it's got all the fat is starting to release off the top of it. It's just white bubbles coming out. That's when you know it's starting to get cooked all the way through and it's finished. Our asparagus is nice and tender. The zucchini Again, cooked through, and you can really smell that lemon, that dill.
Absolutely.
It's a tremendous flavor. And then our first one, our sausage, our corn, zucchini, got some reds and some yellow potatoes, and it's ready to go. Red onion, a little bit of herb, awesome. So.
Very quick, easy meals, something that not a lot of dishes, something that you could definitely do during spring, summer, or fall, depending on the types of vegetables you have. A very healthy way of cooking as well.
Absolutely.
So we'll take a try of each of these and kind of let you know how things are.
Certainly.
So I'm really interested about this one. Again, this is the one that we kind of, went into the refrigerator, looked what ingredients we had available, and kind of put it together. And that's something I do quite often at home when I'm doing these types of dishes. Get some of those tomatoes there with the broccoli and barbecue chicken.
The turkey sausage has got really good flavor. It's not dried out. It's got, you can really taste the oregano. Got that zucchini, nice and tender. It's not cooked to the point of being dissolved. It's just really good flavor overall.
Really good. So this one has a lot of flavor as well. If you're thinking, barbecue chicken and broccoli together, actually that's delicious with the tomatoes in there. And then you get a little bit of that salty flavor from the cheese, a little bit of that cilantro in there. Those flavors actually work very well together.
Yep.
And then one of my favorites on the foil pack is salmon. And I love dill on that as well. If I could keep it on my fork, actually. Maybe.
It's got a great lemon flavor. Salmon's cooked through, not overpowering. It's not the that really salmon-y thing that I'm reminded of as a little kid when I used to eat the canned salmon.
Oh, yeah.
It's got a great texture to it. The asparagus is cooked nicely, and it's just a overall good dish.
Yeah, these are one of my favorites that I make on the grill. Sometimes I'll take, another good one is instead of asparagus, doing green beans, putting green beans at the bottom, possibly putting your salmon on top. I sometimes like to do a basil pesto on there. And then doing tomatoes on top of that. So you could definitely change it up with the flavors. But all of these are versatile. Make them your own. Put the ingredients that you like in them. Put the herbs and spices that you like in them. Quick, easy meal in 20 minutes or so, and no dishes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for joining us today on iHeart Cooking. We hope you enjoyed all the different recipes we did on grilling on foil packs, and hopefully you enjoy making up some of your own.
For more heart-healthy recipes, you can visit Reid Health's website at reidhealth.org/iHeartCooking.
See you next month.